Sorry about it. So maybe that some of the guys that the first time come meeting. So we have a twice a year meeting, voting out with each individual different country. And in this session, so we are sharing the problem and issue around the data sharing and open the data in each individual local. So this time, so we are right now. Right? So that's why we invited you guys to come here to share your experience and what you are trying to do around the open science and the data sharing, and of course including the open access. And then maybe it's better to listen their voice from the audience, especially from the Chula. So, and then what kind of things we can help? Right. Yeah, from different countries and help each other. Try to deal with a little bit of what we usually also. That's great. That's great.
Okay, so I would like to share. Yeah. I would like to share the situation in case of the about the open access. We have the IR institution repository. The IR Act, the content including the dissertation, thesis, and dissertation and paperwork from the researcher to the community is an intellectual of the Juฬาcommunity, and our content is open. And now we have the stage to the observation. They are interested the part will talk to you about the observation. We have to do the big project in this year and next year for the observation project. For the RDM research data management, we ask just to study the probability how to go to the RDM. This year we are planning for to do the sandbox, how to go to the RDS. We separate for the RDS search data service and RDR search data repository. We to do the sandbox. In case of the research data service, when we invite the expert to suggest us, recommend us, we found that our staff do not confident. Not some, is in many details. Just not only we teach the user, but there are many factors that we have to aware. So it makes our staff to not confident that in this month or next month that we have to survey to know our behavior of our searcher, that how they keep how they keep the search data and behavior, how they use the data. And one thing that is a challenge for us, research data is that open, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can't.
Maybe in the world, open is a very challenge for us. In the part of the RDR search data repository, our staff that to try for the other open source that is can to answer our request or not. If I can to summarize that in this stage, case of JuฬาUniversity, case of the search data management, we are still to study, and many challenges and many factors that we are afraid that is to be success or not sure, but we have tried and we have to go. We just only in the case of Juฬา.
So in addition to the doctor thesis, about open access, is there any pressure from the government or funding agencies, the researchers have to open their journal article in public in terms of open access, including the evidence data. There's no policy.
So
There's
yeah, this is a big problem. Fund now we have to work with the agent, the funder agency. We think that we have to the sandbox how IDS are to work, and then we to present the sandbox to the funder agency of research affair. How that we think that the research affair department that are looking for this, the important for this. But if we have the material in our hand that they can to see the big picture.
so things we can learn from the particular experience. So they have already have a dissertation, the repository. I mean, the thesis repository, but the data is their big challenge. Maybe we can say the same thing all over the world, not only that China, but also Europe. So even Japan, we don't have a subject library, data libraries. We just have a generalist. Nothing has no idea about the data metadata. Of course, in case of the journal article that is patient, or so such a metadata they can handle as a library. There's no experience in terms of the state. It's the same situation. So we can hear that the Mahibani also are not yet. Okay.
Yes. From university of London Research University paperwork so this is that in case of researcher university some scholarly paper in faculty of environment. So auditor this database to open.
It's linked to the internet, the high list,
Yes.
all of everything. But another system also that have. I don't know that the director from can explain a bit about high list. I don't know about high list. I saw that A9.
So about Chinese, we have the Thai Digital Collection that's also for TDC. About big database of the thesis Thai thesis. Some research, some article and book. That we also share for. I would like to help you. So you need to have the Thai digital collection in the thesis search paper and the book. The thesis is come from the Thai Uninet ask the cooperation with the Thai University in Thailand to contribute the thesis and dissertation to the TDC. So I don't know that coming to the TDC. More than 100 University. 80 University
80 university already is
contribute the
things, or it's a centralized service, or how to link each other.
they send actually the TDC system runs the course. But the university that participate in this service, they have to submit in the TDC system, like directly. Yes, like we have to submit metadata dubbing for submit the with the PDF of like dissertation thesis or article or even
So I thought this is the one of the factor that NLM have to learn about, the global standard, about, the harvesting protocol, and how to communicate each other, or getting the data from each individual institution report to automatically. Otherwise, each university have to submit the metadata in each time. That's going to be, the regular job. So it can be done by both minds. This is the point. That's it.
I think the new system that we just come back a few months ago, they has established a OAIP edge,
Right.
and this is so the next phase is to establish the preservation system. Yeah. But I think mostly I think um I think some institutions face the same problem, like our previous version of the web service. The for example, our previous version of the web service, we encountered a problem about OAIP because we have established a system more than 10 years ago. So the technology is outdated. That's why we decide to establish a new.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe the same problem.
And how many universities are there in this country? So, and this is so huge university. At 50 something. But now it's already in the system 8. Yes, we are, but double. I guess it's happening all over the world. Like we are calling this as a D-space program. So, the most of the, the D-space running as a institutional repository is, facing the end of the life, because, they're upgrading so quickly, and the most of the university and the library doesn't catch up to the newest version. And, since they customized by each university library, so it's unable to upgrade by their own each individual effort, and still using the very old version for tree. And I guess, the big university can do that, of course, try to do it, but the most of the small university are unable to do that. I do understand that this would be a strong IT support, and I think not many universities have its own library IT support team. That's why they couldn't upgrade it automatically. So in Japan, we also had the same program for a long time. Because at the beginning, many universities started to launch their repository by their own individual. also we are providing a small amount of money at the beginning, but in the meantime, so it's becomes a kind of the commodity service, and and then we as a Japanese the Enron, we started to provide the cloud service for the institutional repository on behalf of the university library. So this is also one of the point that NLM can do or provide the new service on behalf of the university. And 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 if NLM can merge the 100 repository and the running 100 repository at the same time, the cost is you can reduce the cost, operational cost, very in a good manner. So in our case, it's the cost is if I compare with the running cost by each individual university, that's going to be 1/10 or 1/5. So we can reduce the operational cost. So this is the also and not only that the university repository itself. So now the people intention is going to the research data. So not only the journal article dissertation and the thesis, so the repository system is now trying to utilized by the as a data repository as well. So which means that the NLM and NLM as the union or NLM can expand your service to the more upper layer service and close to the library or close to each individual researcher's activities. So it's a fascinating point. And not only the university, sorry, the research institute also maybe interested in this kind of central service on behalf of the research institute. And then research institute can more focus on the research itself rather than taking care of that.
Possible for develop system that just the big, or the technical burden. It's hard for an institution sustain the system for a long time. Provide service. This is possible. But when we're talking about consortium, it's not just one, but many working in the same pool. Some can have, but the others will not here, not in my group. And time pass before you feel a amount of institutions.
So in our case, we are actually doing the learning by repository on behalf of the university as an intern, and also working with a library consortium. So as an NII intern, so we are the technician engineer. So we are good at the developing the repository system itself and the running the operating the repository system itself. But we are not good at the library aspect. So we are working each other with the library consortium, and we are developing the system by getting the voice from the library consortium, and the library consortium make the list of the functionality they want to add to our repository system, and also request what they wanted to do as a consortium or a library aspect to us, and then maybe also it's totally depending on our budget. And at the beginning, we provided this service as a free of charge, maybe the 5 years or so, and then started to charge from the universities. But very small amount of the money from each individual university. And then, of course, margin the money of the government, and then try to running the systems. So the collaboration between the NLEN and library consortium is one of the solution. And for instance, in a library, within 2 years or 3 years, they are administrator of the repository system, and they are changing. We have a job rotation within a library. So new guys will come and have to learn how to operate the repository system. So the library consortium is running the training course by using our system on behalf of us, because we don't have the skill for how to have the workflow in a library. We don't have such a high, but the library consortium is running on behalf. And also, in addition to just providing a training course for operational aspect, the library consortium also has some, the different kind of the working discuss about the research data. For instance, everybody that doesn't know about, the creation of the research data. So, it's a good combination in case of Japan. So maybe that you can do it. And of course, we're gonna support.
We're gonna support. Is it the way to support by but you need it.
I think for consortium to can sustain to make good for the system. They have to be the librarian who study some specific subject and have some librarian or an IT from each institute to know the technical side. They have to work for of each institution, and then they come and work as us. But when we talk about the design resources, especially in each library, it's hard to find the person that how the entire data works, or who are the IT person that look at in the visual subject. Building of the system, of the system. That is the challenge.
The Marcus. So we are right now seeing the compass from the library aspect, and they want to forget about the IT aspect for operating the repository system in a university library. And then if there's a person like Eminem can do that on behalf of the individual university, so they are so happy with that. So it's a good combination between Eminem and that university library. So how to apply the repository system, not only the repository system, but also going to the open resource data. So Marcus, do you have anything you want to say?
So I apologize for my running late. Contract meeting that way too long. There's an interesting question as to who has the skills and who has the information, the time to do any. One of the things we found, certainly Australian experience, is that we're really, really good at explaining the value of activities, but they didn't have the necessarily have the discipline skills to do specific things. We have the benefit that we have a research infrastructure community that once we don't. But the NREN's some of that role choose. I'm struggling to sort of add value to the discussion, but I totally support this close relation. Because we had the Council of Australian University Librarians. They're very supported the IT directors, consortium, and they all different pieces of the puzzle. Our NREN Australian case doesn't involve other the Australian data commons, which invests, gets a lot of money activities. But yeah, no, I'm totally supportive of this otherwise.
Thank you. So, that discipline aspect is much more harder than the young part. So, but going back to the more easier part of this discussion. So, if the system will operated by the or if you can use one same single system, of course, maybe the engine can divide, the system to each individual object like that way. But anyway, the things I want to say is that, the librarian can share the experience or, how to operate and how to use the system itself. They can share the experience and they can share the knowledge each other. So otherwise, if each individual university is running and operating the system separately or in a different manner or a different system, so they cannot share their knowledge. So this is also a good aspect. So
because a big part of the conversation is around culture. That's something we talk about. That's actually one of the areas of the librarians is wonderful. Because they could explain to researchers, hey, look what standardized regions that understand because that was something they lived with. So yeah, if we get them out of the technology, that's beautiful.
So is there any community in this the country about the library community? Is there any space sharing their experience with each other? So this is also, the one of the culture to be able.
In Thailand, that is the 4 or 5 working groups. The members come from the Thai libraries, including cataloging group, acquisition working group, serials working group, service working groups, and IT working. I think each working group they share the experience, they share how they work, they share and they ask about the problem and how to solve and find the solution together. Many solutions is come from the work that they work.
So in that case, one of the idea is that, to launch a small task force under the service working group or somewhere about, you can discuss about, how to do the long-term sustainable operation system itself and how to divide the responsibility of that operation between the library sectors and so the other like.
Sorry, Ty, I was just wondering, talk about association of libraries. There's actually a couple of others of things that people like involved as well. We found in Australia that the research the attendance, we've got corporate librarians, third world infrastructure. So it was having that venue. I would love to have something yeah, we maybe organise something between our meetings. See.
I think this is the one of the good idea. So, for instance, as a international perspective, we have the community named CORE, Confederation of Census Repositories, and that this is the communities talking about a repository operation and a repository newsstand, and we also have the Asian open access communities, and having the annual each individual. Maybe the next this year we're gonna have a annual meeting in there. So this is also the one aspect, and of course including that of course for you. So is there any share? Yeah. This is gonna be the one of the good experience. How to expose your relationship between them.
Actually, in Sri Lanka, we have institutional repository. Actually, to add applications, daily we have to add updates. So that task if we do alone. So that librarian, there's an assistant. So he's technical. So he can do that if we send the format. Actually, we have to add our publication to the format and then we have to send. So it is kind of additional work to us. So we are trying to move in from this old system to a new system. So we are actually discussions now. So we have a committee for that. So I'm in that committee too. So I have the responsibility of that too. So we are keeping that repository, but it is not being updated day by day. It's bit late. So there is a latency. So, and for the research, actually we use data, our science department, but we can add our data to open access data repositories. Like normally we get data for Zenodo platform, have our data there too. So there are such many repositories we can add such data for the public. Okay? So that is that advantage.
So the things that we have to think about, from your report is that even right now, in the Zenodo, so this is run by the self. So somebody is paying for the operational cost. Now the European Union is paying the the Zenodo operation on behalf of us, but that in some way like an archive done by the phone. So they start to request us to pay annual fee. So so from that aspect, so one of the idea is each individual country have to has a responsibility how to archive and how to preserve your research output, coming from your country as a university by the
they may have their own histories.
what about you? Chai. Step aside.
So I'm receive one of the I subscription. Our life to join the times all sharing, communication, sharing, and we believe we can not so the our language has been by studying and getting we are yes I'm from technical. Okay, I give some training, some which we before that we have on the technical quite significant and they develop uh, the challenges is on the budgeting and there's quite challenge but they make it bit by bit in a small scale and I think another language is try to teach up. And they have Malaysia they have language consortium and they are working
Every time we try to
Try
get
to what?
people together, and then
I can't make sense what you mean.
But
So
you-
we can do
you
that.
put
You know,
this
we
way.
can discuss and then we can provide some, the idea, but we don't have a budget. That's Apan.
problem
So,
that we come down to that
but you know, each individual country inland has a competing resources and some, inland technical people. So we can help each other, and we can export or import our own experience from each country. But
thing we could do, we can try to set up like a virtual training and every 2 months.
yeah, this is the one with ideas. Otherwise, depending on the location that it has, so there's a limitation then too, and maybe that's a idea having a webinar between an APAN meeting. So try to share the experience from each different country, because the things what I wanted to do is in the future having the regularly the people coming to this the session and providing the country update, but now it's not yet such a stage, not yet such a stage. Every time that different people is coming, so the different topics are talking about.
That's like a problem, having that continuity of discussions. I think one of the things that happens a lot in these discussions is that it's very easy to go to the technology. And it's like, how do we build the repositories? How do we set things up? And it's actually a lot more about the people processes either side. How do you on the input side encourage people to make a deposit to a repository? That's a value proposition for research. And then separately, how do you make the access as open as appropriate? Which is again a problem. Now APAC can certainly help a lot on the people side. We can introduce people who've tried and failed, and people who've tried and succeeded to some of them. So I think that's something that certainly focus. We talked about the data.apan.net as being a useful platform for information sharing. We've got it started, thanks to your team, but we really should try and put some effort. But maybe we do need to focus mostly on the people, processes, knowledge sharing. One of the things we found in our community was that the idea that universities would set up repositories didn't take off until there were people who were trained to see the value of it. But we couldn't get people to be trained until they had a repository. So it's chicken and egg. But once we had those, we could do things like harvest all the repositories because the librarians in particular made sure that they were standardized. It meant the all the repositories in the country. Suddenly you had a very powerful tool. It wasn't the very smartest tool because you can't deal with all the searches that require scientists and astronomers, humanities researchers to do. But at least knowing the data is there and that people are sharing, and oh look, somebody in my discipline is sharing. What we talked about yesterday about the champions. It turns out a platform champion. It demonstrates the value to different research disciplines as well. So maybe there's something to explore a bit more about how we use that platform as well. But, yeah, we're good at bringing people. It's great.
Come together, but how to get all of us working together. That's also it's just like that's why I'm asking if the APAN can the middle platform for everyone to work together as each country already a member of APAN. So for the end, for example, can link the Chulalongkorn and together other 80. Each time, let's say you can update that the Uninet for Thailand can update each or NII size can support it for higher technology transfer, not funding. So from that's also feasible.
And he can support the computing resources, of course.
Yeah, cloud. Yes. How big is it?
Based on you.
Unlimited. Also, the thing that we need to think. If not, it's going to be the same thing that we talk and not continue. After this, finish the discussion and then die out. So that happens all the time. So I would like to see more than just discussion. We can really get together. Like for example, now you found the Thailand already linked with the Thai list. So that would be something that Uninet, you have to think that we somehow to link it in the APAN more. Like this time, we try to bring all the libraries with the support from different from Thai fellowship and then NII fellowship, so you can again exchange the idea and then the information that you have.
Oh, sorry. Hand up. Just as the the suggestions you two just made then made me think of something else, is that the role of the NREN is totally clear if you think about the technology side, but they're really good at the people side as well. And I'm wondering if there's something we can do, it's worth generally, that would help the NRENs to bring together locally their library communities, their research data communities, and so on. Maybe we need to ask the NRENs what they need to be able to do. Can we talk to Myran, Uninet, others, to say, what would it take for you in 3 months to run a workshop for all of the librarians in the economy? I think the Beltran might be running out on this. Yeah.
This is what I wanted.
Essentially, we want the local host a webinar for something else.
So how to do that? So I'm very, totally agree with the idea. Having the survey and, the look for the pain point.
Yeah.
The between. So how to do that? I don't know,
But running a survey is easy. It's just a technology problem. No, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, but designing a good survey,
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we should focus on. How we get the survey out to people is another interesting challenge, but I hope every NREN knows.
So which means that, the markers, now we are in a time. So, how to make the focal point, focusing on the one single, the country, or, asking to the more broadly and getting voice from the different country and for the, the point we can discuss. Or, the beyond the country. So which is better? Focusing on the one single country and, try to communicate each other between the library community and then or the other, the computing resource people or high performance computing people, or, getting a voice from more broadly.
So one small thing, let's not talk to the high performance computing community.
Okay.
Because they have a very different view on a lot of these conversations.
Right.
But I think doing a bit of both. So when we have a meeting, we have the opportunity for a face-to-face discussion. And that's the place where people learn from. Now, we're not prepared for this. We're still trying to find our feet in this discussion. I think doing it country by country makes the most sense because the conversations are different.
Yeah, that's right.
Locally, there are so many different requirements.
This is what we learn from the APAN.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we need to think of APAN as like an umbrella to try and bring information together from many places. And that's something we talked about from working. It's how do we have a central catalogue of what we all do? But then how we help each NREN. One of the things we found disciplines was some of them are more, the phrase we used was ready, willing, and able. Are they ready? Are they willing? And are they able? And if we try and tackle each economy that is ready, willing, and able, we can help each one. The ones that are not one of those three, we have to understand why. So I think doing stuff between meetings might be more valuable, and we use these meetings, face-to-face meetings, as a checkpoint. That's where I think the NREN's, your point originally, is how do we get them involved, responsibility for that. Then we could test a survey here. We've got a number of librarians in the audience understand, if we ask, what are your 3 biggest problems? What's your 1 biggest problem? What's your 3? Is any librarian, works with librarians want to answer
Of the library.
Yeah, yes. What do you need? Ignore the fact that we're technical people that know much.
Actually, I think, from my opinions, if you would like to endorse the support from APAN in terms of technicals or in terms of knowledge sharing, and you need to make it effective in various ways. I think we should start with a core unit. For example, the Uninet or Tilus, because they perform as a core team to link with other universities currently. And once we in Thai context, once you drive from top down, it's always fast and effective. And if you need some pilot, I mean the pioneer team to go with that, you may pick out, you may select some. No need to bring about 150 universities start in the same time. Just feel it's okay. Once they pilot and give a successful case to show all other universities, they will learn how. Let me share you about the previous case that we successfully implement. Previously, we worked with the Chulalongkorn University worked with the National Research Council to deploy the international standard for core cell and for trustworthy repository. And by the time we only start, just only four institutes, and with the support from National Research Council as a core, they help us very much to make the project success, touchable, and demonstratable. So that's why in the second phase, other universities see the example and they will learn how to keep on the pace. But if you need to implement the international network at the first step by this time, it will be useful for just only some institutes ready. For example, I'm working with the university libraries. The communication will be effective once we have some certain projects to run together. I don't think it's much effective. If you would like to make the APAN project, the support to be actually implemented in this country, I think that the first step is to approach with the these or some government units who in charge of university and kick off some initiative. Let the pilot or pioneer teams explore together.
Which person come from the EI food?
But probably maybe Lida.
How the person can help in this country?
Yes,
You can introduce your organization.
I'm Soitip Suku. from iPhone EIF. That's a good example that working people to relate is very strong people and something like that. And we love to work with you, iPhone, because I'm working about 50 countries, libraries. We are working very close to each other. But not only in Pacific, in with Europe and with China. Maybe it's a things that is I can ask my
So, Irina,
You have any comment on that?
you can unmute. You can speak.
Hello, it's a
Irina.
little bit hard to follow your conversation because the sound is breaking, but like Suitip said, we'll be happy to share a questionnaire, a survey among our partner librarians. We'll be happy to ensure that library community joins the webinars we organize. So I think it's a good idea. And maybe we can include some use cases. Maybe we can identify some good collaboration examples. So we have Japan. Maybe there are other countries where there is already a good collaboration between NRAN and library community. And then we can include this kind of case studies in the meeting. Thank you. I was also wondering whether something came out after your trainings, because you had intense training sessions with researchers, and whether any specific requests related to data sharing that we could pick up as a working group. Did researchers ask for anything specific at your training sessions earlier?
So we have to make the action plan for the next step. As Marcos, the pointed out, the things we do, like survey or webinar, on meeting. So we can focus on this country from the beginning, because each individual country is a different situation. So, sharing, we can do.
That's why I'm asking that Apan as the leader guide. So we have maybe Thailand unit. Way forward.
So,
Okay, if we give them homework,
Or you can then provide the service in Australia.
we didn't work that way. The different context. Because we had money that changes the conversation quite a lot. Whereas here we're asking people to do things for almost free. It's different. We can either design a survey or we ask them to help us in terms of what questions should we be asking? What are the pain points expressed? But also, what would be helpful? You want librarians sort of stuff. I probably think one or two librarians in Australia would do that. So, but in country. But I think also the other thing too I was thinking about as well is that we're all dealing with and English is maybe not the best choice for every single country. We should be doing both. But I totally agree. Doing high levels.
The point that we need to do after this discussion. You have any idea that to do it in Thailand first, for like an example for other.
That's what is the you said that you send the survey to ask us for the pain point. What is the pain point? Focus what topic? Because we have the many pain points. so maybe I confuse that. What is the pain point that you want to focus?
So maybe in my idea, so that's going to be, the sustainable operation of the, the repository system and how to go further to the data sharing and open access and how to collaborate between techie guys, coming from the inland and also, the university library, which doesn't have a good enough budget and a good enough doesn't have a computing resources and IT skill. So we want to provide such a, the match point. So between the different sectors.
Is it possible to have those pain points coming out and then you can try to support that one by one, but not many, like not too many. We might start with like I don't know, 4, 5. Yeah, and then we work from that, and then we try and then use as a example that we could improve for Sri Lanka, for Malaysia, but started with the Thai side first to show that this is the support we could do. Is it?
Yeah, this is what I want to do, and maybe in the next time I don't know that people can come to the next.
That's the problem also, but we can make it online. We can make it online, and then you have to talk the charging online, not
and the report, the outcome from that discussion. I mean, in the next APAM meeting, so maybe that we can, listen to hear the outcome from this, the intermediate discussion between the annual meeting.
Unit A could do that, right? Just like collect the survey, the question, the pain point that would like to see first in terms of the librarian side that need the support, then we can work on that. Okay.
And not only, the talking locally, so, that some of the information has to be shared within a mailing list or more widely, but I don't know.
One thing I think, I don't know, we have mailing list. So I will add this asking permission, all of you that listed with the email, I will add you into the mailing list. So then we can, well, usually at the beginning it discuss a lot and then it die out again because it happened before and it will happen again. But that's another channel that we can communicate. So ask permission to add all of you in that. So Taka-san can you know, moderate that and then make it lively. Yeah.
I think got to keep in mind we've only got a small representation of the Thai libraries here. So it would be really good if our lovely talented friends at UniNet, who would probably know all of the institutions, know all the librarians and Thai lists and contacts there, they could help with the propagation. You know, we don't want to have 1.5 million librarians on our, well, actually it would be kind of cool, on our mailing list, but you know, if we can scale it down and delegate through the NRENs and allow also from our perspective, the NRENs to provide that value add, that communication point.
Agree.
And they speak the local language.
Yes, I have to learn. So is there any voice from the remote?
Now you just say it. I don't have to type it out because oh, okay. Okay, I'll read the question. Who operates a Thai national research laboratory at the National Research Council of Thailand? Is it NRCT is a part of Thai list also, or they're separate? Watch Hall. Watch Hall. Watch Hall. Is this a Watch Hall? Is a part of Thai list? No, they're separate. They have their own thing, but they are funding agency for the research. So can we approach them? I don't know.
So I guess in the meantime, the funding agency in this country also requests to, you know, the more strong open access mandate and open research data, the request or mandate, because this is a worldwide trend. So not only the you know, the advanced country or European country, but also this is going to be happening in around here. So the, you know, so Chai, we can you know, design the things we have to do to the next step. So is there anything you want to add on top of our discussion? Okay.
I think after you're taking the surveys result, maybe once you see some issues that are mostly in common and address just a few issues, some issues you maybe find some partner institute to have a go with you as a pilot or demonstration, because first maybe a shortcut. Maybe it's a kind of shortcut to take a demonstration, something like that. But the most effective way, surely, so you're working with a national council or UniNet or Thailand, something like that, because it's a top down, it's a very quite effective. But just in case that you would like to see quick result, Mahidol is also a strong institute that could, yeah.
You know, I guess I can expect or imagine the most of the pain point is in about the money or, you know, the workforce.
That's the pain that the issue that you address and you would like to solve first align with the university or library strategies or not. If it's go in the same way, it's easy to embed with the direction we have to go. It's something like that.
Actually, my suggestion is that in our case, our librarian is not aware of technical side. So I think it's better to form a technical committee kind of thing for all the libraries in Sri Lanka and other countries. Yeah. I can send the mailing list, but the thing is, as in our case, that was our main concern when we add the publications to the repository. So it's hard to do because we don't have technical person to do that. Because in some academics, they don't want to do that. That is as a burden for them, right? So that's the case. But in computer science, IT, engineering, those faculties they do, and medicine also, even medical faculty, they finished. So, but in some faculties, they don't like to add by themselves. So that's the case. So there should be some technical set of people, yeah, that who gives support.
Okay, just my second opinion lah, yeah. What happened back in Malaysia for EduRoam project, yeah? There's no mandate from top to down. What happened is because first thing first, technical, we don't know what is EduRoam. Yeah, people do not know what is EduRoam that time. So Dr. Suhaimi start with trading. So in this case, same lah. I think people might do not know what the IR the things all about lah. You know? So and people tend to wait and see. This university do, and then second university, third university. So I think in Malaysia, there's no mandate to proceed with EduRoam, but at the end of the day, all 20 public university proceed with the EduRoam because they see the benefit. So I think here, if there is one or two university willing, yeah, and ready to collaborate, I think we can start small, and then people will see what is the benefit, and I believe, yeah, it will take time, but people will see and feel the benefit.
Yeah, that's great.
That is, within the country, Suhaimi did it, but it's
Within the country, and the EduRoam is much more easier to understand the benefits
Yes.
itself. You know, it's a bit different from the open access and open source.
So I was just going to add, when you mentioned before about, the most obvious pain point is money, there's an answer to that, which is that you can make things more affordable when you scale and when you get people working together. Another point when a lady was mentioning about the various faculties, we actually need to make institutions more aware that they have responsibilities, because in most countries, it's not the researchers who own the data, it's the institutions. And they have responsibilities, and they have responsibilities to the nation. And so there's an education process around that. And all of this stuff, when I keep saying about culture change, it's making the value really clear. And the value isn't because you have to follow good policy, it's because you are making a difference to outcomes, to helping people, to saving money, to solving problems. And to convince researchers to do this, they have to be effectively paid. I don't mean by money, but they have to be paid in their currency, which is status, publications, right? And so making data visible needs to be part of their recognition. And
As an institution as well.
And that benefits institution, absolutely. So all of these things, there's this beneficial circle, there's not a phrase I'm trying to think of, that feeds on itself when you start to demonstrate this. And so having an institutional repository should not be seen as, oh, dear Lord, another expense that we have to give to the IT group. It's oh, this is going to be great for our institution. And it's going to get harvested, it's going to be visible, it's going to get recognition, it's going to benefit our researchers. The presidents of the universities need to understand this. And maybe it's librarians who have to convince them, or they need the information or the argument script that they can use. And the same with the IT directors. They should be championing this as well. So there's a few things that we can hopefully try and pull together to deal with some of those really good points, good issues. Sorry, rambling.
Please.
Me?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, thank you for arranging the sounds, so now we could follow a bit more clearly. And then, yeah. So on the two last points that Marcus has just stated, on this raising awareness on responsibilities and so on, we would. It's probably things that then we can work on together. Like organizing multi-stakeholder, multi-institutions dialogues and things like this. So this maybe we are more able to federate people to come to talk together. So let's try, and then we really would like also to work more on the culture change, and then yeah. So we're really happy as well to collaborate on this. So please keep us as well in the loop.
Right, thank you, Ai. And he have to say something. He has some responsible position.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't listen because I talking with my colleagues. What was the question?
In the response to the Mahidol University, then how could the I don't know, internal sharing the library information system, how could the Mahidol University can support in this term?
So for our library, I think we are kind of open library. So we have resources. Actually, we have many libraries in our university, and one specifically for the environmental department faculties. We have specific library as well. So it may be benefit to this network. I think we are willing to share, and of course, I asked our repository could be shared to the network as well. So maybe we have to look at our resources, and if it match your interest, we will be happy to share.
That's great, thank you. So you did anything from the remote? So it's okay.
Let's say NRCT.เอาไอ้ chat ขึ้นหน่อยสิ they also already have for the NRCT website that National Research Council, that they're also doing it as well, separate from Thailand. So it's Elena just showed that. It's okay. แชร์ได้ไหม ไม่ให้แข่งแชทเลย okay. I cannot show it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So I'm getting hungry. So Chai. So everybody's getting hungry.
Yes.
So we need to wrap up the
Yeah.
discussion.
So the survey, the UNINET will try to get that, and then we try to link to whatever that could be the pain point, and then for the training in the technical thing, you list it up, and then we'll try to solve that one by one. But we'll see how much can we do. Okay.
Understood. Like you didn't understand first, then we have to solve that case by case for the department. they need practical sessions then, right? So even for the science faculty, they need practical sessions for doing that thing for academics, actually. So that is hard to do sometimes with the university even. So I think if it comes to a broader range, it is much difficult than that. So that's why we have to start from departments, then faculty, then the university.
And then we'll try to work out how to set it up. And yeah, of course.
Actually, at Chulalongkorn University, the RDM-RDS project is still in, it is in our pipeline. It's in our pipeline. We are starting we are at a starting stage. That's why we curious whether we could support a guideline from the APAN, so that we could to enhance our staff skill and make them ready once your project would like to kick off in Thailand. By the time, maybe our staff would be ready by then.
We don't have that. Even the data common document now is like, Marcus, how many years now? Not finished yet.
Sessions or case study exchange that make our staff learn what to manage in different countries and contexts. Frankly speaking, many projects that we initiate recently, including the digital preservation projects, we got inspirations from other countries. That's why we need to learn and share with your network.
Yeah, of course, we are, trying to make some kind of a template for the data policy for the institution. And the EIFO also has, the bunch of the example from the different country, different institution.
Any question from online? UNESCO could help organize multi-stakeholder into that's before the online. Right. Yeah. UNESCO could help too. So okay, I'll wrap it up then. That's just that two more than we can do in a few months. So to wrap it up, I need to announce that we have to do the re-election of the chair and co-chair. So the chair is still be me because no, it's just a vote. Okay, that's just and then okay, Elena, please. Okay,
I
please.
just mentioned that it seems to be a new topic for many, research data management, and maybe we could also start with some basic introductions, what NRANs need to know about research data management, what librarians need to know, and then maybe it would help to start conversation.
Okay. So you can do that also online, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then we try to schedule that. That's the thing. Yeah. YouTube, right? Maybe just the clip, send the clip and watch it. Something like that. Okay, then continue. The chair will be me again for another term, and then we have new co-chair. We have Takasang going to be a co-chair, and then Marcus. So only now 3 of us. No, he has so many things to do already. Yeah, deputy is the so only that, because before we have long list, but they just list in there and not really doing much. So we decided to reduce it to the people that really work. So it's much better that way. Okay, just announce it for the official, and hopefully next term you have to take it. Okay, then
Yeah,
any
thank
last
you for your
words?
no, yeah, no. Thank you for your participation.
Yeah,
and
thank
you for the remote access, and also the thank you for the technical support. So let's meet up and in a mailing list, and also have a good conversation with.
Okay. Go deeper into the proposal thing too. Try to get funding, maybe starting on that. But in room, Pernjit room, we move from here. So and Ninomiya Sensei will explain more about Afita that the Japan will be hosting this year in Japan. In which city? Don't know yet. Scuba. Okay, Scuba. Scuba. Yeah. Be back at, I don't know, 1:30. 1:30.